was just reading the other day that 159 Olympic athletes have taken their own life in the last few decades, and that's really, really sad. I was also reading that 1,000 young athletes just from the United States, 1,000, have committed suicide in the last couple of years. That's just extraordinary, isn't it? And these are statistics that you probably didn't know about sport. And in this video I'm going to explain to you why I want to change the world of sport, and how I'm going to go about changing the world of sport, and how we are going about changing the world of sport. So let's start off with the why. Professional sports people, there's a large misperception out there in the general community that most professional sports people live pretty well. They have a great living, they have a great income, and they go on to having a great life after they finish their professional sport. And the reality is absolutely different, because there's probably 1% of professional sports people from across all sports that go out there and have a fantastic life after they finish their professional sport. And for all the rest, a lot of them are dealing with anxiety, depression, bankruptcy, failed relationships, even suicidal thoughts, suicidal tendencies, and it's a landscape that's littered with sadness. And I really want to be part of a solution that changes that. I want to be somebody who says, hey, we have a problem here. We have a big issue around the world with sport. You know, it's something that many of us love so much. It's been part of our life for so long. We watch all these amazing athletes competing on the world stage, or locally or nationally, and they inspire us, they motivate us. And sport is like nothing else. Sport tells a story. Sport creates drama. It's something that is intrinsic in our soul for a lot of us. And yet there's so much sadness associated with it when you just start digging a little bit beneath the surface. And that's what I've been doing. And I've been looking at what actually is going on in the world of sports, and I'm finding out that it's pretty sad. And I'm on a mission now to change it. So some of the other reasons I want to change it is because a lot of sports people get to the end of their career and they've got no idea what they're going to do. They've got no skills. You've got to realize that a lot of these people, they started their sports career when they were maybe 5 or 6 years old. They dedicated the younger years of their life. A lot of them didn't even have a normal teenager experience. They were down practicing, training, getting coached, getting pushed by their parents to become something in the sports world. And then they might have gone on and competed for their country and won medals at games, or played in a professional league or whatever. And by the time they reach 30, 35 years old, they know nothing else other than their sport. That's all they know. So when they get to that stage where, and some of them are lucky because they choose the time they can retire, a lot of them don't. A lot of them have to leave because of injury, because of other circumstances. A lot of them leave because of financial reasons. And there's a lot of, I guess, opportunity along with this sadness that happens in the sports world. So I want to help the world of sports change. And another reason it is why it is because if you look at all the stakeholders in world sport today, most of them are out providing services or being officialdom around their own egos and around their own causes. So most sports management companies in the world take advantage of their athletes. They don't put their athletes at the center of their whole business and what their business is about. A lot of the federations and sports bodies around the world, of course, are just all about money and marketing and sponsorship and earning money. They're not really looking after the athletes at all. In fact, quite the opposite. A lot of them are actually using the athletes like slaves and like robots. And in my eyes, this has to change. We've got the situation going on at the moment with the Olympic Games. The IOC is making decisions all based on financial capacity. It's not thinking about the safety of the athletes, the safety of the spectators, the safety of the officials that are involved. It's all about money. And I think that absolutely stinks. So I want to change that. So you might think, okay, who's this guy that wants to change the world of sport? Well, I'm a guy that's really passionate about sport. I'm a guy that's passionate about business, and I'm very, very passionate about making a difference in the world and trying to do something, and I'm rather give something a go and try and make a difference than sit back and complain about it or just talk about it. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm actually making all these plans to try and make a difference and to change the world of sports. So how are we going to do it? Well, I've been doing a lot of research on the professional sports industry, and I've been realizing that there's a lot of things that athletes need that they don't have today, but the primary thing that athletes really need today is increased funding. A lot of them are struggling financially, and as we all know, this brings about a lot of stress and anxiety, depression, and all those other behavioral attributes that lead to darkness in people's life. So one of the things that we're going to do in our model is quite revolutionary. We're going to crowdfund for athletes around the world by tapping into the sports fan network and using sports fans as a mechanism to raise money for athletes. And this is going to be a really exciting development. So I want to share that with you all and just tell you how that's going to work. And I think that's really, really exciting development. The other things that we're going to do is offer practical skills to athletes who are in different stages of their career. So obviously when a young professional athlete starts off, they need to have a greater understanding of what's going to happen in their professional sports career. So we're going to bring in people that have been there and done it, with Olympians right down to professional sports people in different leagues. And we're going to help them through workshops and online courses to gain a greater knowledge on what's happening within the professional sports world and a professional sports career. During their careers, athletes need a lot of support as well. They need support from a management point of view, but they also need a support from understanding what's going to happen at the end of their career, and actually do some planning around retirement. And it amazes me how many professional athletes today do not have an exit strategy. They do not have a retirement plan. They haven't life skilled themselves to prepare for world outside of business, and as I said, outside of sport. And as I said just earlier, a lot of these athletes started their sport at a very young age, so a lot of their education was jeopardized. A lot of their opportunity to go through that academic pathway was not there because they just focused on their sport. And not everybody gets scholarships and has that opportunity to go and do those things. So we're going to provide courses and support and guidance for athletes throughout all the different stages of their career and prepare them for life after sport. And by doing all sorts of extraordinary things like collaboration with sponsors and partners and global brands, we're going to be able to offer not only networking opportunities but also a pathway into employment at the end of their sports career. So we're going to put all this together in a amazing online platform. We're going to invite the sports industry to come and participate in this, and those people that have their heart and soul and their business values in the right place are going to be part of this incredible innovation in world sport. And it is already really, really exciting. I've already got Olympian athletes on board as part of my team. I've got young hopeful professional sports people as part of the team, and I've got a lot of people who have a lot of great business skills that are going to support us in helping the athletes as we go through this. So it's open to any athlete, any professional athlete in the world, across any sport, any gender. We have no prejudice or racism against anybody in relation to who we can help in this process. And I'm going to send out a bit of a plea for you all today. If you love sport, if you think that this idea is a good idea and you'd like to be part of it in some way, and who knows what that way is, you might have a business that can help us, you might be a sports fan that can help us, you might be an athlete that's crying out for help right now in any part of your life, then get in touch with us, because we want to hear from you. We want to hear from you and your thoughts and your ideas around what we can do to make the professional sports industry a lot more sustainable, but also a lot more humanized than what it is today, because we've had enough. We've had enough of athletes being taken advantage of. We've had enough of these big organizations taking advantage of athletes and, you know, suppressing their right to earning a good income, to being looked after at every potential level throughout their career. We want to change that, and we are going to change that. So Global Sports Management Services, you can check it out online. We've got a very basic website up at the moment because we're building our new platform. You can find out on that website what our vision and mission is. You can find out the things that we're going to do in a little bit more detail than I've described here. And then if you think, hey, this guy's on to something really exciting, then get in touch, because we'd love to hear from you, because we are going to change the world of sport, and we are going to help professional athletes all across this planet. Thank you for listening. See you again soon.